So multi-part products, what are they? It's a bit of a misleading name for what the vast majority of the use cases for multi-part products are. But once we've gone through this webinar, you'll see why they're named as they are. Most of you, if you've approached the topic of multi-part products before, will know them more as an upload space. So a place where your customers can just upload a single PDF and then send it through the Infigo system and into your production workflow. So I'll show you an example of like a basic use case that we've got here. So this is just straight out of the box, a brand new multi-part product created. And you will see, once you launch the product, something like this. So it's a very simple space. It will give you some information on quantities you've selected, attribute values if you've specified them, and you've got a space to upload a particular piece of artwork. Preview it, add it to basket, and then send it through the Infigo system. It's nice and simple. And as I say, that is what most people use this system for. However, there are much far-reaching additional capabilities of this particular type of product. It still falls under that basic umbrella of it's an upload space for your customers to upload their particular artwork into you. However, it can do much more than just allow this one simple space to upload things to our system. So before we really get into how to actually set this up, I'm going to go through a couple more examples for you, just to show you the kind of thing that we might be able to accomplish and what hopefully you'll be able to have a go at once you've started playing around with this system. Okay, so this one, for example, is a versioned product, and this is a multi-part product. So what this does is it gives you the ability to add multiple different versions of the same piece of artwork. Now, I'll go into this in more detail later on, but what it's essentially doing is just allowing you to have the same specification of a product in terms of the different attributes that you might use. I think most of you will be familiar with attributes, but then you've got the ability to upload different versions of the artwork to the same product. Now, this is very useful if you want to allow people to have the same specification with slightly different artwork. Useful for the end customer because you'll be able to give them things like price breaks, because it would be cheaper if they're ordering 500 labels just with different artwork on the same order line, compared to 2 lots of 250 labels as completely separate order lines, which might go through your system at a higher price. But we'll get into that in more detail later on. The next example along I have is a sample brochure product. And what I want to show you here is another capability of the multi-part product, which is about combining multiple PDFs into one output PDF. And this is where the multi-part element of the name comes in. So if I start this process, you'll see with this particular setup, we have a few different upload spaces that we can utilize. So we can upload separate PDFs into these areas. So if I upload a few of those just to show you how this is done. So 3 completely separate PDFs, but then when I go ahead and preview that, it's actually going to show us it. I've used the wrong PDF, typical, to actually upload that, but it's going to show us it as one merged PDF. So all 3 of those separate ones merged into a single product. Now it does have a lot more advanced possibilities as well. So This is a little bit more advanced. It's not something we're going to be covering in a great amount of detail on this particular webinar. I'm just making you aware of its capabilities. So relatively recently, I think, we extended the capability of the MultiPart to be able to do 3D previews, like we can do in Mega Edit at the moment, if you have the correct module available. And what this allows us to do, if I can upload a couple of sample pieces of artwork, it allows us, as we can do with Mega Edit, to actually put this onto a 3D preview of a product. So I'll just keep it nice and simple with one example here. Go to preview. The artwork I've got isn't quite the right size, so it won't look perfect, but it will show you a representation of the kind of thing we can do. So in this case, that particular artwork has been put on one face of this Rubik's Cube, so this 3D model that we have. And again, this is all still as part of the MultiPart product.